Hello, this is Jingyan, and the last video of this series investigates the role of the circulatory and immune systems in survival. These physiological systems work closely together to ensure blood flow and defense against foreign particles, so today we'll be looking into exactly why these mechanisms are instrumental to our survival. In addition to blood, the circulatory system can be used to transport gases, nutrients, and waste through the body, and these substances are often passed to other systems as needed. For example, waste and toxic materials are passed to the excretory and respiratory systems, while nutrients are taken in by the digestive system. We can see that the circulatory system is especially important since it is closely linked with so many other vital systems. Blood is circulated around the body by several specialized blood vessels. These include arteries, which carry blood away from the heart. Important arteries include the pulmonary artery, which transports blood from the heart to the lungs, and the aorta, which distributes blood from the heart to the rest of the body. Since arterial blood flow happens under high pressure, arteries have thick muscle linings to increase elasticity. Next, we have veins, which are used to carry blood to the heart at low pressure. For example, the pulmonary vein transports blood from the lungs to the heart, while the vena cava returns blood from the body back to the heart. The low pressure of venous blood flow means that there is a greater chance of blood flowing backwards, so valves are present to prevent backflow. If materials need to be exchanged between a blood vessel and a tissue, this is done by flowing through capillaries. These vessels are only one red blood cell in width and have walls made of a single layer of cells, which allows for permeability and effective diffusion. Humans need these two main types of blood vessels to transport blood at varying pressures. This is explained when we study the trajectory of blood around the human body and find that each complete circuit passes through the heart twice. This is termed double circulation and involves two circulatory networks. In systemic circulation, the heart distributes oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. This happens on the left side of the heart via the aorta. Oxygen in this blood is then used up by the body and returned to the right side of the heart via the vena cava. This means that the heart has to ensure that oxygen levels are constantly being replenished. This happens in pulmonary circulation, where the right side of the heart pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs via the pulmonary artery. The oxygen we breathe in is used to reoxygenate the blood, which returns to the heart via the pulmonary vein. We can infer from these descriptions alone that the heart is a very complex organ. Cardiology focuses on the structures and functions of the heart, and since this is an extremely specific branch of anatomy, we will just be focusing on the main structural components of the heart. The heart is made of muscular tissue or myocardium, and its left and right sides are separated by a septum. The former has a significantly thicker wall, as it has to pump blood at a higher pressure over a longer distance. The left and right atria are small chambers near the top of the heart that collect blood from the body and the lungs. The left and right ventricles are larger chambers near the bottom of the heart that pump blood to the body and the lungs. Like those in veins, valves are also present to prevent the backflow of blood in the heart. Blood passes through atrioventricular valves from the atrium to the ventricle and through semilunar valves from the ventricle to the artery. Besides circulation, the body must also ensure survival by resisting the continuous threat of disease. These are included in the immune system, which consists of not only organs but processes that defend the body against disease-causing pathogens as well. This is why the immune system has three lines of defense. The first is surface barriers, which physically or chemically prevent pathogenic entry into the body. For example, the skin is an organ composed of mostly dead cells, which physically blocks out pathogens, and also secretes antibacterial chemicals to restrict bacterial growth. The second line of defense consists of other internal responses, such as inflammation, which increases the recruitment of white blood cells to fight disease, and phagocytosis, in which white blood cells surround the pathogen before digesting it with enzymes. The first and second lines of defense are known as innate immunity. Although they allow for a quick response to pathogens, these responses are short-lived, non-specific, and non-adaptive, as they cannot differentiate between the different types of pathogens and as a result respond in the same way to every infection. On the other hand, the third line of defense is adaptive immunity, which allows for white blood cells to possess specific responses to different pathogens. One way of acquiring adaptive immunity is through vaccinations, which introduce weakened pathogens to the body. Each pathogen has a specific antigen, which is recognized by the immune system. White blood cells, known as lymphocytes, then produce specific proteins, antibodies, to combat this type of pathogen. After the activation of these antibodies, memory cells are formed, which ensures long-term immunity against this pathogen, as the body is able to respond quicker with each new exposure to the same pathogen. This gives rise to immunological memory because the body's immune system eventually becomes so effective that disease symptoms do not have time to develop, leading to immunity. So in this video, we have covered 3 points. First, we looked at the double circulation and the blood vessels involved in this. Then we looked at the chambers of the heart, and lastly, an overview of the 3 lines of defense in the immune system. Thank you for watching.